Well guys, welcome back. There's not been any RC updates for a while, but as anybody on the planet is aware, it is absolutely red hot in the UK at the moment. Us Brits were not made for this sort of weather. We struggle. We're used to cold and wet for the most part. Summer's usually about 4 or 5 weeks in total. We don't usually get this sort of heat for prolonged periods, and I'm finding it hard to do anything that involves any work whatsoever because well, as anybody who's watched my channel for a while will know, I work outside. So when I get home from work, I open all the windows, sit in the cool draft, watch TV. That's it, job done. So I've not done much. Right, what have I done? I took the advice and I made a giant Ford badge for the front. Now, I've stuck it down with double-sided tape, but in this heat it won't stick, so I'm going to have to put a few screws in the back to hold it in, for it to curve. If I can get it to stick for just a second, I'll show you. Yeah. It really could have done with being a gunmetal grey, these letters, but I don't have any vinyl or paint of that colour, and just all black, you can't see it, so I put this like carbon fibre stuff on. What did I do? Yes, that's the process. I got a picture up on my phone of a grill, drew it out. I did 2 different sizes. The small one wasn't quite big enough, so I made some little cardboard templates. And the larger font seemed to work best on this. Ideally, they are not that big in real life, but it worked to me, and my wife said she liked it, so that's done. Right, I started mocking up a bumper in cardboard. Now, it's only held on with a bit of tape, so you sort of get the idea. I've transferred that template onto this. What was it? Colouring pencils. Now I've transferred it over. It looks complicated, and it is. So I haven't even started on that yet. And if you hold on to it too much, the pen rubs off. So that is an exact representation of that. Just the upper half, I'll have to make it in 2 halves and bond it together. But even though it's only thin metal, it bends really well and it stays. So it will, in scale wise, it is a 1/4 inch steel plate in 6 scale. So that's that. Bear with me for one moment. As you remember, on Father's Day, I took out Big Ella, and me and my daughter between us broke it. Now, I wasn't really sure what had broken until I just brought it in, shoved it down. So let me just put my little letters away, because these are templates if I want to make any more of these. I may make some for this one yet. So what's the plan with this? Well, it's more broke than I realised. I didn't get the links crossed over as they're supposed to be, so there was a little bit of, well, quite a bit of wobble, as you can see. On the back, there's a lot more wobble because my 4 link is only a 1, 2, 3 link. I've lost a link. The ends are still here. Now, what's happened is it's come out of one end and the other rod end is broken, but they were only plastic. My mistake, as you can see, that's how they're made together. They're just threaded rod. Now, this one's also coming undone, so this one would have broken next if it had carried on. So this was just an experiment I made on a whim. Right, it was a hell of a lot of work on a whim, but I made this and it was always way too heavy. From the start, it was too heavy. The metal axles, the metal links, the steel chassis rails, the metal links, the full metal floor pan out of quite a substantial aluminium plate. It's not quite 1 mil, it's like 8 mil aluminium plate, too thick, too heavy, and using the Emax gearbox as well, it's just too heavy. So what am I going to do with it? Well, I have an Emax chassis that I already mocked up to fit this, which is just there. I'll show you that in a moment. So my plan is I'm going to rip this out. It's no longer going to be a solid axle. We're going all independent. I've had it set up like this, and it really did drive nice. Now, I built this because I didn't really have a fully working, decent sized solid axle chassis at the time, and I thought, yeah, let's do this. Had some money, had some time, let's make this work. And this is the result. Now, I would have to put a lot of money into this to get it working. I'm going to get it working, but under this chassis, under this body. This is going to be this. Yeah, but without getting technical, I'm going to graft from here forwards onto the floor pan of that. Because I never managed to quite get the bulkhead sorted on this. In the back of my mind, there's a really good one already made. So I'm going to graft the two floor pieces together. Keep the aluminium links. Keep the plastic axles. These are going on that one there to make like the Losi LMT, something along those lines. A big monster truck, a basher more than a crawler. It should be fun. Now, I don't know if you can unlock the diffs in these and leave them as an open diff. I'm finding out. If anybody knows, let me know if these Chinese EM axles can be opened. If there's a kit or whatever, let me know. Because they are Wraith copy axles. Now, how much like a Wraith they are, I don't know. I'd like it to be more like a rock bouncer, a rock racer than a crawler. So we'll see. That's the plan. Right, so let me get rid of this. Oh, hang on. We sheared off the top. These are the shockers that came on the Land Rover originally. They're all aluminium, thinking they'd be tough, but as you can see, no. And both of them sheared off completely. Now, whether it's because I filled them with a bit of foam to give a little resistance under the extreme weight of this truck, because they don't hold any oil. When I bought the truck, they're supposed to be oil-filled shocks, but all the oil had leaked out, so I figured out just while they're in transit and in storage, it's leaked out. So I refilled them and it came out straight away. So I decided to not bother and use them as friction shocks anyway. Put a bit of sponge in, although it's gone out of that one. So yeah, that is broken enough not to carry on with. I may use these chassis rails on this because I got a better curve on the back, so that may work better with the floor pan because there's a gap between the chassis rail and the floor pan on the back. So I may or may not use these chassis rails, but they'll be the only truly heavy item on it. I made it out of much lighter stuff, so we'll see. Right, now bear with me and I'll get shut of this and show you. I'll get shut of one of them and I'll show you the chassis. Right, so this was massive fun. Now, looks like me LEDs are coming out. I never got them lit up anyway. That was massive fun. Now, with this setup, I can put the original bumper back on it. They cap the car on full compression, barely, but enough to put the original grille and bumper back on. So, yeah. This is the chassis. Now, it's all original T-Max at the moment, but I have a piece of composite aluminium. It's a part of street furniture from somewhere. A friend gave it to me. He found it on the roadside, so I'm going to use that. It's got like two thin sheets of aluminium with like a plastic goo in between, so it's strong, it's light, you can bend it, and unless you actually smash one of these up, they'll hold up to pretty much anything. You can screw into it and the screws will stay because there's like a plastic goo in the middle that holds onto them. So they're brilliant for this sort of thing. Now, it's long enough to do this in one piece, so I'll make it wide enough. As you can see, it's already exactly the right length to fit under this. I've already measured it, so I'll just make the chassis plate to this. Now, I have this humongous gearbox in the top there. Now, that made it bobble around and bounce about, but I think I'm going to go more basher than scaler or trail truck with this. So, although I do want to make it look scale, but it looks cool, the solid axle, but it looks cooler with the independent front, and it also looks pretty cool, the independent rear. Now, I've worked it out. If I push it right to the very back, the gearbox will fit here, so it'd be like mid-engined, just like they did with the old Fall Guy trucks, if I remember rightly. They had the engine and gearbox in the back here for jumping. So it's not going to be something I'm going to be jumping or getting any real air out of, but I have been thinking about going with new motors with this, something with a little bit more pep. So plus, you running through the transfer case, it does gear down a little. So if I ditch the transfer case and put the gearbox straight in the middle, it'll give it a little bit more grunt. Just simply because I'm taking a gear reduction out. So that's the plan. Now, like I said, I've had this chassis under this truck before when it was black. I've got pictures of it on the garden table, looking very cool with the doors open. If I can, I'll add the picture in at the end, or stick it in the middle somewhere. By this point, if I've done it, you've already seen it. Yeah, so that's the plan. It was a lot of fun to drive. It only had a crawler motor in, so it wasn't particularly fast, but I want to do the same thing but make it fun. So I'll have a big crawler and a big basher, and I have another full working Emax, so unsure what I'm going to do with the 3 Emax chassis. Whether I rebuild the third one and put a different gearbox in it and make it like another little basher, I don't know. Now, my birthday is coming in September. I always get money from family, so I will be buying some parts then, so we'll be doing some reviews. And thank you to RC Shelf Queen for these. He's not let me send in anything yet because he's having a big sort out, but I do want to send him something as a thank you for these. They would look ace on there, maybe. I don't know what I'm going to do with these, but you will be seeing them somewhere because these are brilliant. Now, I had also thought of shortening the A-arms on these and making a road-going chassis out of one of these, because any long-term viewers to my channel will remember the big BMW, 6-scale BMW that I had. I let that body go and I regret it to this day. So I may build an on-road out of one of these. I have a 6-scale Mini Cooper that was a Barbie car. I may bring that back out because that got stripped and used up a long time ago. So there you go, future projects. You heard it here. Right, there we go. I'm going to call that out a draw for today. Thanks for watching, peeps. So the next time you see this, it will be sat on that chassis. That's what I'm going to do next. I'm about to rip it apart, but I wanted to do a video before I did. Yeah, I'm looking forward to taking this one out next time around. All mechanicals are in place. I just have to fit it all together and get it working. So, not the biggest. A lot of elbow grease, a lot of hard work, but not a big job, particularly as far as brainstorming is concerned, because I've done it already. All I need to do is work out where I'm putting the gearbox, line up the drive shafts, and put in a servo, and it's going. Oh, don't make it sound so easy. Anyway, right. Oh, hang on, before we go. A before and after. That's what the grill looked like originally, and that's what it looks like now. Very impressed with that. I think I'll be doing the mesh treatment when I swap the original grill onto this. Yeah, and in case anybody wanted to know what I've done to these two, what I've done to this one, that is how that started. So there you go. I've had a few people ask me what this was originally, and it was one of those. I had 3 of the things. So that is the other 2 joined together. So yeah. Thanks for watching. More soon. You get into this scale of trucks, and it costs money and a lot of space. Thanks for watching.